Okay,
Okay, Malak, so we'll come back. Now I
thank
think
you.
we have to discuss the exclamation mark and the question mark. These two videos are going to be really short because these two punctuation marks are going to be the easiest. So let me now open the file of exclamation mark and let's learn the way that I have to use it. So after covering all these punctuation marks, I know that we still have apostrophe. This is really important. Ellipses. I know that ellipses is forbidden in the IELTS exam, but you have to know the idea or the rules of using ellipses. Now, we have to discuss exclamation mark, the question mark. Later on, absolutely, we have to discuss, as I told you, apostrophe, ellipses, parentheses, brackets, dash, and the slash. Now, let's start discussing the exclamation mark. So this is the easiest punctuation mark. And absolutely, as I told you, the question mark. So this is the exclamation mark that I have to use. The first rule you should know, Malak, concerning the exclamation mark. You don't have to write any comma, any full stop with the exclamation mark and the question mark. This is the most important rule. Please be careful.
Yeah,
Okay?
okay.
Okay. Now, let's talk about introduction to exclamation marks. Periods absolutely go at the end of any sentence. So if you want to say, I like cats, because this is a complete sentence, because this is the subject, this is the verb, this is the object, and the meaning is complete, I have to write a full stop. And absolutely, exactly. And absolutely, the question mark is used if you are asking a question. So notice that the example is saying, do you like cats? So this is a question, and I added the
Question mark.
oh, bravo. Now the exclamation points go at the end of exclamatory sentences, something which is really, let me say, surprised, or you don't expect this word to be said. For example, I love cats. This is exclamation mark. Maybe you don't expect this person to say that he or she loves cats. This is something unexpected or surprising. I have to use the exclamation mark. So please be careful because sometimes it is little confusing. So this is rule number one. Rule number one is saying we have to use the exclamation mark to show, let me just move like this, to show emotion, to show emphasis, to show surprise, as we said, to exclaim something. Now, to exclaim means to cry out suddenly. To cry out is to scream. Okay? For example, snake, snake, you are screaming, you are crying, am I right? So, to cry out suddenly in surprise, in strong emotion, or maybe in pain. Let's take a look at these examples. So, here he comes. So maybe you don't expect his coming, and this information is a kind of surprising information. I used what? Bravo. And exactly, notice the next example. I hate you. So maybe exactly you are expressing your emotions, and maybe it's something surprising. So this is what, and maybe I don't expect you just to say such a sentence. So I have to use exclamation mark. So this is stop doing that. So notice that stop doing that. This is imperative. Do you know the meaning of imperative? Order. To order someone to do something.
Oh, yeah.
For example, clean your room. Stop saying this word. Go home. Eat your food. This is what.
Simple present.
Bravo, exactly. The first verb should be used in the simple present and infinitive. Okay? So this is why I have to use exclamation mark. So notice, watch out. Now I'm crying or screaming by saying watch out. So this is why surprising information. So I use the exclamation mark. Hello, how are you? So notice hello is something surprising. So this is why I said hello. Let me tell you something, Malik. This is really important. Do you remember the interjections?
What?
The interjections, like hi, hello, wow,
Yeah, we did
ew,
it
oops.
yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have another option in using the interjections because I told you that if you want to use the interjections, you have to use comma after them.
Mm,
And notice that if the interjections are said suddenly or loudly, I have to use exclamation marks.
okay.
Yeah, for example, like oops or ew or wow, that's amazing.
Mm,
Yeah, this is surprising information. So the
okay.
final example is saying this cheesecake is delicious. A
Delicious. Yeah.
brown exclamation mark. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's talk about rule 2 and the correct examples with the incorrect examples. Okay. Now, rule 2 is saying we have to use the exclamation mark at the end of a sentence, but the exclamation mark replaces a period at the end of the sentence. It can also replace a mid-sentence comma if it is inside a quotation mark or marks. Let me explain this rule by saying these two examples. So notice if you want to say, let's get married. Now I used what? The exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark.
Yes, instead of writing the period or full stop.
Mm,
Now the incorrect one is to use them together.
yeah.
As we said, we cannot use the exclamation mark with the full stop or maybe the comma. So let's get married with both of them, the full stop and the exclamation mark. Now this is wrong. Now, what do
Okay.
I mean by replace a mid-sentence comma if it is inside quotation marks? Let's take a look at this example. This example is saying, help me. I'm screaming
Mm,
now. Bob yelled. Yelled, the meaning of yelled, screamed.
mm,
So this is what Bob yelled. These are the words that he cried out, and this is why I used the exclamation mark. And notice that inside the quotation marks, and as we noticed, and as I mentioned before, if you remember when we explained the quotation
this is-
marks, yeah, the question mark, the exclamation mark should be written what within the two inverted commas or within the quotation marks. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. So notice that this is wrong. As we said, I cannot write a comma or a full stop with the exclamation mark. So this is wrong.
Mm,
Okay, now let's go to the next page. Now, rule 3 about using the exclamation mark is saying we have to use exclamation marks to express a great emotion at the end of imperative. I think that we talked about imperative. Now let's talk about imperative with great or strong emotions. So,
motions.
yes, we usually use periods at the end of any imperative sentences or maybe commands. However, we can use an exclamation mark to express a great emotions. Now notice this sentence is saying sit down. So I know that this is imperative, but this is a normal sentence. Maybe I'm not screaming or I'm not saying this sentence with great emotions. Now, if we want to say it with great emotions, for example, to stress that by saying sit down immediately, sit down right now. Now I have to write the exclamation mark. Okay?
Okay.
So there is a big difference if you want to say be careful and be careful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. This is why I used what? Exclamation mark.
Question mark.
And it
Mm,
is really, there is a big difference by saying stop doing that, please, and stop that.
yeah.
So please. Now notice that you can express your emotions by using
Mm,
what? By using
right.
exclamation marks.
Question mark.
Absolutely, yes. We cannot write our screaming or maybe crying, but we can tell the reader that this word is said loudly by using what? Exclamation mark. Okay?
Mm, okay.
Now, I think we have discussed this rule before while discussing the quotation marks, but let me remind you about this rule. This rule is saying how to use exclamation marks with quotation marks. So as we said, as I told you, please, Malak, we have to put the exclamation mark at the end of a quotation. For example, if it is applies, or if it, sorry, applies to the words enclosed by the quotation marks. The example is saying, I just got a promotion. So this is what my dad exclaimed. So notice this is the exclamation mark that is mentioned within. Why? Because it applies to the words enclosed by the quotation marks within, enclosed together. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now the same rule but B is saying, now if the exclamation mark applies to the sentence as a whole, then place it at the end. The example is saying, after that, my boss told everyone that they were fired for being what? Completely useless. Exactly. So notice that now completely useless is said at the end
Mm.
of the sentence. Am I right? This is not at the end, this is within, enclosed. Okay?
Okay.
Now, because it is at the end of the sentence, this is it at the end, the exclamation mark should be what? Should be
Was a
out.
whole sentence.
Bravo, should be out the two inverted commas.
Okay.
But because the exclamation mark is within the sentence itself, the exclamation mark should be what? Within the quotation marks. So this is because at the end, out the quotation marks. This is because in the middle of the sentence, let me say that, it is within the two inverted commas or the quotation marks.
Oh, okay.
But please be careful. I know that, Malak, that now I have to say that they are a little confusing because they are a little too much. But
Okay.
you need to practice. I can send you some exercises about the punctuation marks if you prefer, just to practice them. But you need to
Yeah,
practice. Yeah, please. Because
I
don't,
prefer that.
please, man, because man, they are 14 punctuation marks. They are really too much.
Mm.
Okay. And
Okay.
to be honest, you have to use them all, except for the dash. I'm going to tell you why. And ellipses. The ellipses is forbidden only in the international exams.
Okay.
But if you are writing informal letter, informal email, for example, you don't have to write you can write ellipses, sorry. Okay? Okay, now rule number 5 about using the exclamation mark is saying I have to use it when to use exclamation marks. So I have to use it with informal and formal writing. It's not like ellipses. So we use, sorry, we use exclamation marks most frequently in informal writing. The example is saying, hey, Jack, this is exclamation mark. How is it going? This is a question. Absolutely, I cannot say with formal, how is it going?
Oh,
Okay.
we cannot use the exclamation mark in email when writing an
No,
email.
we can use it. We can use it for formal and informal. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, notice that the exclamation mark should be used in formal and
And
informal writing.
okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So I can't wait to see you tomorrow! Exclamation mark. Congratulations on your engagement! Exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what? This is informal. Why? Because I said, hey, I cannot say hey to my teacher. I have to say hello. I
Yeah.
cannot say to my teacher, hi teacher, how is it going?
Mm.
Please. So be careful not to overuse exclamation marks in formal writing. Because in general, we avoid using an exclamation point or mark in formal business writing or informal in general. So you shouldn't use exclamation marks in resumes and cover letters.
Cover letters.
Oh,
Yeah.
bravo, this is an exception.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I cannot use it. With
Okay.
these resumes or cover letters, you cannot use them. So we can use exclamation marks in formal writing, but we don't have to overuse it.
Mm,
Okay?
okay.
Okay, now introduction to the exclamation. Okay, in this lesson, we said that this is what in the beginning. Which of these sentences? Okay, now I think it's the time to practice. This is the final page. Now,
Okay.
okay, so let's
The
decide.
first one
Uh-huh.
is correct.
Yes, exactly. Hello, how are you?
The second is correct.
Yes, I got the promotion yesterday.
Yeah. The third, it's not correct
Why?
because the first mistake is they put a full stop after the exclamation mark.
Yes, exactly.
And the exclamation mark in the end. So they
Bravo.
put a punctuation mark after.
Exactly. Outside. Thank you. That's amazing.
after
Because it is at the end, yes.
The four, it's incorrect because they put a full stop after
Amazing.
mark.
Yes, exactly.
Keys. 5, it's correct.
Yes, it
It's
should
in
be
the
used.
middle.
Then in the middle, yes.
Yeah. The 6, we just saw Justin Bieber. I think
Mm. You think what?
it's not correct.
Why?
There's my sister. Yeah, I think exclamation mark should be with my sister. Yeah.
My sister yelled. But here we said mom cried out without using the exclamation
Mm.
mark.
No, it's quotation. Comma after the punctuation.
After the punctuation or within? Okay, wait. Let me minimize this page and let me show you the rule because it is really important. Wait, Malak, I know. Let me open this file about quotation marks and let's discuss the rule that is said. What if I want to mention the person who said the information in the beginning or maybe at the end? Now let me show you. This is it. Yeah, wait. I think it is not in quotation mark, but it is.
In the comma.
Yes, exactly. Let
The
me
comma
open it.
center.
Yes, and let me show you the rule again, just not to forget it, because this rule is little tricky. I think, no, it's not here. It is here. Exactly. So I mentioned the person who said the information at the end. So the comma should be used what?
Within the punctuation.
Exactly.
The
Absolutely.
yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
So what do you think?
It's correct.
It's correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
It is completely correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is it. I'm sorry, I was planning to explain the question mark, but because
It's
I don't have time because I have another class, I have to apologize. But let me guess that we need only one class, just two, maximum 2 classes, just to cover all the punctuation marks.
okay.
So I have to thank you so much, Malak, but let me ask you if you have any questions before leaving.
No, all is clear.
So I'm going to send you the exercises just to practice them because I know
Yeah.
that they are a little confusing.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, let me thank you and let me wish a good day for you.
Have
Thank
a-
you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.